Hi, welcome to our first edition of Real Estate Matters. I'm here with Tim Martin from Guaranteed Rate Affinity. He's one of the top 10 brokers in the country for them, so he's a real expert when it comes to interest rates. And that's what I want to spend a little time talking to Tim about is how interest rates are impacting the housing market today. And I think just to set context for everybody, I think everybody's aware that right now we're facing a couple of different issues in the market right now. Very little inventory. In the last year, interest rates shot up quite a bit on the mortgage side from 2% to close to 7%, but there's still a lot of demand. And what that's created is kind of an unusual market. Typically when rates rise, we see the price of homes falling. So what I want to spend a little time talking to Tim about is, because Tim works with a lot of our buyers, is you often get the question from buyers is, hey, Tim, if interest rates are likely to fall or maybe inventory is going to open up, shouldn't I just wait for a bit before I go and buy? And so tell me what your dialogue is like with those types of buyers today.
Yeah, it's an excellent question. And first of all, thank you very much for having me. We talk about rates every day with our buyers. And you know, that question comes up of why not just wait for rates to come down? Or why haven't prices come down if rates have gone up? Fundamentally, we do have almost an economics 101 thing going on.
Yep.
We have a shortage of supply, meeting a pent-up demand, both demographically and just lack of land and other drivers, economic drivers. Rates went up, as you said, from 2 to 7% very rapidly.
Right.
In the course of 12 to 18 months, we saw 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last year, I think a lot of people are shell-shocked by it, but now it's kind of the norm, right? And rates have even come off their peak a little bit and sort of reset that context for, I think, some buyers. So there was the shock factor initially, but now it's part and it's factored into the market for, I think, a lot of our buyers.
Okay. So when a buyer says, Tim, just based on what you share with me, I think interest rates probably aren't likely to move up further. Shouldn't I just sit on the sidelines and wait to buy? I'm just going to sit and hold off on buying. What are you telling them?
It's a great question. I think everybody's situation is a little bit different, right? We have to understand their motivation for buying and also the cost of waiting, right? So there's two parts of it I look at. Let's say we have somebody who's renting and they choose to rent for another year, 2 years, waiting for the market to get better. We have buyers that took that strategy 2 years ago that are regretting it now as prices have gone up significantly. I do think if they're ready to buy, they should buy. If rates come back down, we take advantage of it and refinance. Now we need to counsel and make sure they can afford the higher rate and the higher price environment we're in, but most people looking to buy are doing it for a family reason, a job reason, maybe a housing need, they need more space. Those things don't change whether the rate's 6 or 7. So we need to discuss their situation, what their buying power is in this market at the current rates. Some buyers are fortunate, they can put a little more down, maybe get that payment where they want. Other buyers are, comparing the cost of rents, which are comparatively high also, and also in very limited demand. So at the end of the day, some buyers are looking at the environment and they're saying, I have a bad situation, maybe a worse situation, but they're picking the one that makes the most sense for them at this time.
Right. So essentially for a buyer today, most of the counsel is if you're thinking about buying, probably not a better idea to wait if you're ready to pull the trigger now.
I think if we wait, we're also waiting for competition. There's a lot of buyers who can't buy, or maybe they can't get to the purchase price they want in the higher rate environment. So if you're fortunate to qualify to be able to buy in this environment, purchasing and then refinancing when rates come back down might be a better strategy than waiting for rates to come down, having even more buyers enter into the marketplace. Maybe we have some more sellers. We can talk a little bit about sellers that feel locked in by their current rates, but even if we had a few more sellers, we are going to have more buyers as rates continue to come back down and as people get more comfortable in this rate environment.
So that was a lot of valuable information, Tim. Thank you for that. And I think one of the key takeaways we'd like to impart with every one of these episodes is that we're trying to provide you with a lot of information that you can take away to make better decisions. And so we often counsel our clients, even if they're not ready to make a decision on buying today, to have a phone call with Tim, get the information so he can get you ready so that when you are absolutely ready to make that decision, you can move forward really assured that you're making the right move for you and your family. So again, thanks again to Tim for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to future episodes together.